What up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is BizMatik, and I'm back with another one for y'all. Right, this time around, it's 10 interesting facts about the 27 Club. All right, now the 27 Club, for a lot of y'all who don't know what that is, some of y'all have been talking about it, especially when I started to do the videos on the Doors. That's when I started to talk about it. There's a lot of artists, a lot of great artists have died at the age of 27. Is it a coincidence, or is there something else going on? You know, I don't really know nothing about that, but I do know that a lot of our great artists, they die young because, you know, a lot of drugs and alcohol. I mean, look at, if you switch it over to like hip hop right now, right? Hip hop artists are not even making it to their 30s. It's ridiculous, you know. So I guess it's always been like that. The sex, drugs, and rock and roll, you know, it gets to you. But I'm not sure what it's about. Anyways, if y'all new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell. And, you know, bring the likes all the way up. Do y'all like these kind of content on this channel, so I'm not just bombarding y'all with music all the time? I think this is dope to you know, switch it up a little bit. But y'all let me know how you feel about that, and let's watch it. I'm very like excited to watch this video just because I want to learn a little bit more about this 27 Club, and I'm not sure of who are all the artists that are in it. So let's watch.
The 27 Club is a theoretical club consisting of famous musicians, actors, and
Ooh,
artists
Jimmy.
with one morbid membership qualification.
Basquiat was in there?
27. It is a tragic cultural phenomenon that points to the oddity of some of the most famous musicians in history dying at 27.
Kurt Cobain.
The idea of the club is referenced across pop culture, although any statistical reasoning for the death of musicians at 27 has been disproved through scientific studies. However, the club remains a point of fascination and attracts attention every time a famous person dies at that age.
I'm fascinated.
Today, we're bringing you 10 interesting facts about the 27.
Jim Morrison, Basquiat. Oh, damn.
There were 4 specific deaths in the music industry between the years 1969 and 1971 that prompted commentary on famous musicians dying at the age of 27. Brian Jones, the founder of the Rolling Stones, was the first of these 4. On July 3rd, 1969, Jones was found at the bottom of his pool by his girlfriend, who claimed he still had a pulse when he came out of the pool. However, he was announced dead upon arrival at the hospital. Jones's death was deeply mourned by fellow musicians, including Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison, who would soon become members of the 27 Club themselves. Hendrix dedicated a song to him on TV, and Morrison wrote a poem for him called Ode to L.A. while thinking of Brian Jones, deceased. Before his death, Jones had been gradually becoming less involved in the Rolling Stones due to drug use, multiple arrests, and mood swings, and eventually was dismissed by his bandmates. 2 days after Jones's death, the band performed a free concert at Hyde Park dedicated to Jones and performed one of his favorite songs by Johnny Winter, I'm Yours and I'm Hers. Jimi Hendrix followed Jones at the 27 Club with his death on September 18, 1970. Hendrix had gone to sleep next to his girlfriend, Monica Damon, who found him breathing but unconscious when she woke up. He was rushed to the hospital but pronounced dead almost immediately. The autopsy revealed that Hendrix had aspirated on his own vomit and died of asphyxia. Later, Damon revealed that he had also taken 9 sleeping pills called Vesparax, a massive overdose. Hendrix had been somewhat predicting his own death. After a tarot reading in Morocco turned up the death card, he told his friend he was going to die before 30. And 2 days before his death, he told a friend, I'm almost gone. Hendrix's ultimately and tragic death has become shrouded in mystery over the years. Some propose that the young musician was murdered. Even Damon herself, she says, I do believe that he got poisoned, that he actually got murdered. Well, there are some proof, but well, you can't go to the police with it. There's something really behind the whole thing, and there's quite a powerful group behind all that. I think it's the mafia. Regardless of the cause, Hendrix's death left a gaping hole in the heart of the music community, and many declare that we have yet to see an instrumentalist with such skill and creativity. Janis Joplin, one of the most famous rock, blues, and soul artists of her generation,
my girl Janis
died
on
on
here
October
too.
4th, 1970, just a few weeks after Jimi Hendrix. Joplin was found dead on the floor of her hotel room, and an autopsy revealed she had overdosed from heroin. Although there are no narcotics found in Joplin's hotel room upon first
She
investigation,
had a hard life.
a friend later disclosed that they had removed evidence of the drugs only to put them back after they realized that the autopsy would reveal that there were narcotics in Joplin's system. It is purported that Joplin had been given heroin much stronger than what she usually used, as many other people who bought that same heroin from Joplin's dealer had died of overdoses that same weekend. However, friend and on-again, off-again girlfriend Peggy Caserta was never convinced by the claim of Joplin dying from an overdose. Speaking on the cause of death, Caserta says, "Does it matter at this late date? In some ways, maybe it doesn't, but what matters is the truth, and the truth is, she didn't overdose. I will go to my grave believing that. God knows I've been there several times." What people found even more strange, however, was the proximity of Joplin's death to Hendrix's and the fact that they both died at the age 27.
That's
Jim
crazy.
Morrison of The Doors died on July 3rd, 1971, the 2-year anniversary of Brian Jones's death. He was in Paris with his girlfriend Pamela Courson, who found him dead in the bathtub. Weirdly, Courson would also die at 27 years old a few years later. Although no autopsy was conducted on Morrison, the reported cause of death was ruled heart failure. However, some people who claimed to be eyewitnesses said that heroin was involved and it could have been an accidental overdose. John Densmore, the drummer of The Doors, says the following about his late bandmate's wild lifestyle and trying to get him to stop performing before his death. He says, "Some people wanted to keep shoveling coal in the engine, and I was like, wait a minute. So what if we have one last album? Maybe he'll live. Why did he carry on? Because I wasn't mature enough to say that at the time. I wasn't trying to enable him. It was another era. I used to answer the question, if Jim was around today, would he be clean and sober? With a no. Kamikaze drunk. Now I've changed my mind. Of course he would be sober. Why wouldn't he be? He was smart." Morrison's death caused a stir around famous musicians dying at that age of 27, but people did not begin to use the term the 27 Club until Kurt Cobain's death. Kurt Cobain's death on April 5, 1994 brought massive attention to the term the 27 Club. At just 27 years old, the beloved frontman of Nirvana committed suicide in his Seattle home. He left a note addressed to his childhood imaginary friend, Boda, which explained that he had no more passion or excitement for his music and, therefore, thought it better to burn out than to fade away, a line from the end of the note. Just a week before his death, Cobain had escaped his rehab facility in Los Angeles and flew back to Seattle. On the plane, he sat near Duff McKagan of Guns N' Roses, one of the last people who would ever see Cobain alive. Leading up to the day he was found, Cobain's friends and family had no idea where he was. And on April 3rd, his wife Courtney Love hired a private investigator to search for him. However, Cobain was ultimately found dead by an electrician on April 8th. Dave Grohl, Nirvana's drummer, explains the effect Cobain's tragic death had on him, saying, "Probably the worst thing that has happened to me in my life. I remember the day after that I woke up and I was heartbroken that he was gone. I just felt like, okay, so I get to wake up today and have another day, and he doesn't."
Damn.
Amy Winehouse was the next biggest star to
I
die
love
after
Amy.
Kurt Cobain.
I
at
only
the
heard a
age
few
of
songs of
27.
her.
Her bodyguard found her with no pulse in her bed on July 23rd, 2011. He called emergency services, and when ambulances arrived, Winehouse was pronounced dead on the scene. The coroner declared a death of misadventure, more specifically, alcohol poisoning. Winehouse had struggled with alcohol abuse after rising to fame, often being too drunk to perform at her shows. Those close to Winehouse were concerned for her well-being, prompting her to write her hit song, Rehab, about her refusal to go to an alcohol rehabilitation center.
She had the most
Sadly,
unique voice
she
ever.
lost her battle with alcoholism, a death that redirected the public's attention back to the 27 Club and caused people to grow increasingly suspicious. Winehouse was aware of the phenomenon of the club and was scared she would suffer the same fate as Jones, Hendrix, Morrison, Joplin, and Cobain. Her former aide, Alex Haynes, says, "She reckoned she would join the 27 Club of rock stars who died at that age. She told me, I have a feeling I'm going to die young." Membership in the 27 Club is not exclusive to musicians, of course, as many famous actors and artists have also died at the young age of 27. Of the non-musical members of the club, some of the most well-known are television star Jonathan Brandis, film actor Anton Yelchin, and artist Basquiat.
Basquiat, y'all need to
Musical
learn about
members of the
Basquiat.
27 Club, the cause of death of Brandis, Yelchin, and Basquiat are all related to suicide, accidents, or drug abuse. Jonathan Brandis started his career as a child star with a role in Stephen King's It, and graduated to a teen heartthrob by starring in the popular series Sequest DSV. However, in 2003, Brandis sadly committed suicide. Anton Yelchin was best known for his role in the Star Trek film series. He died of a freak accident in 2016 after being pinned between his car and a brick pillar. Basquiat, one of the most famous artists of his time, was known for his neo-expressionist work that incorporated powerful social commentary. Like many famed celebrities before him, he died of a heroin overdose in 1988. The cause of death and level of fame of these musicians, actors, and artists has led people to conduct research, produce films, and write novels about the phenomenon that is the 27 Club. Studies have been dedicated to researching the 27 Club in an attempt to understand why musicians specifically die at 27. However, statistical studies have failed to find a significance to the age 27, as there is an increase in the rates of famous musicians dying at 25 and 32, and generally in their 20s and 30s. The British Medical Journal conducted a study to test the hypothesis that famous musicians are at an increased risk of death at the age 27. The results of study are reported with the following. Our analysis found no peak in the risk of death for musicians at age 27, despite using a flexible spline model that would have allowed even a small bump in risk to appear. The study indicates that the 27 Club has been created by a combination of chance and cherry picking. So why are people so convinced by the club? It likely has to do with the way in which it's reported in the media and the stars who belong to it. However, there isn't truly any scientific evidence. The 27 Club is highly present in the realm of pop culture. It is referenced in music, video games, comics, and film. Fall Out Boy's song 27 is a reference to the club, with its lyrics centered around the wild lifestyles of rock musicians. The song was written by Pete Wentz, who felt he was living a hedonistic and possibly dangerous lifestyle, similar to the members of the 27
One of my
Club.
favorite bands ever.
Beloved rapper Mac Miller also references the club in his song Brand Name when he
wasn't
sings, "To everyone who sells me drugs, don't mix it with that bullshit. I'm hoping not to join the 27 Club." Miller tragically died at 26, just missing the 27 Club from a mixed drug toxicity. The club had also been referenced by Halsey, Rex Orange County, and other big musical acts. Mad Magazine even had a comic series named after the club for a few years, simply titled The 27 Club. The comic was about the club's most famous members coming down from rock and roll heaven to save the planet with the help of Keith Richards. These pop culture references demonstrated how prevalent the phenomenon of the 27 Club is in our world. A recent and rising development is the idea of the 21 Club. The death of Jones, Hendrix, Joplin, and Morrison between the years 1969 and 1971 were a reflection of the drug culture in the music scene of high-profile musicians.
There's a new drug culture now. It's
this
crazy.
Is something we might be seeing again, but instead of rock stars dying at 27, it's rappers dying at 21, an incredibly young age. The idea of the 21 Club is starting to catch on due to the deaths of Lil Peep and Juice WRLD, major American rappers. Juice WRLD ironically referenced the 27 Club in his song Legends when he sings, "What's the 27 Club? We ain't making it past 21." The song was dedicated to XXXTentacion, who was killed at 20, and Lil Peep, who died at 21. The 21 Club has yet to receive the same media attention and cultural weight as does the 27 Club, but it is sadly on the rise. Hopefully, the 21 Club will not take as many members as did the 27 Club.
Alright, that's it. Look, a lot of those deaths are definitely sketchy. I do think a lot of those people are actually murdered, but that's conspiracy biz talk. And I do think a lot of those people were actually murdered, and You know, because when you look at most artists, how they die is always, and especially if they die in a bathtub. Every time an artist die in a bathtub, I'm just like, or a celebrity die in a bathtub, I'm like, they were murdered. So it's bathtubs, heroin, they got found here, they overdosed on that. I don't believe that shit, man. You know what I think? I think the easiest way to get rid of somebody is to use their vice against them, right? Meaning, if you know somebody who's an alcoholic, you feel me, and they die of like alcohol poisoning, you wouldn't bat an eye. You're gonna be like, well, this is, if you could get it to, you know somebody who's a heroin addict, they died of a heroin overdose. You wouldn't bat an eye. So I feel like that's what it is. I feel like those people who are doing those things are very smart. They are very intelligent, and they know how to get away with things. I don't necessarily believe that any of this is random, but that's just me. I just have a conspiracy theorist mind, because I don't believe in conspiracy theories. Like, when I say I don't believe in conspiracy theories, I don't believe that people are just making up shit just to make up shit. I believe there's truth to it. I don't believe they're theories. I believe they are possibly facts. But anyways, that's just me. If you made it this far, go ahead and subscribe in the comment section below. Yeah, let me know how you feel about it. The whole 27 Club thing, and you know, we're gonna continue to rock. And in the description box, there's a link to my second YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe to that. I'll see you there, man, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Y'all better be there.